Your soulmate is fighting silent battles just to find their way back to you. Your soulmate is not lost, not really. They are just delayed by battles you cannot see. While you sit here wondering why things feel incomplete, why love hasn't fully arrived yet, or why something inside you still feels like it's waiting, they are out there, fighting wars in silence. Not the loud kind of battles people applaud or notice, but the quiet ones. The ones that shape a person from the inside. The ones that leave no visible scars, yet change everything. You see, not all love stories begin with meeting. Some begin with becoming. Right now, your soulmate is becoming someone who can hold you without breaking, love you without fear, and stay without running. And that kind of transformation doesn't happen easily. They are unlearning the pain they never deserved. Maybe they grew up in a place where love was confusing, where affection came with conditions, where silence felt safer than speaking, where vulnerability was mistaken for weakness. Maybe they were taught to hide their emotions just to survive. And now, they're slowly peeling back those layers, trying to understand what real love even looks like. Because how can someone love you freely, if they've never experienced freedom in love themselves? So they're healing. Slowly. Messily. Quietly. They are breaking patterns that have existed for years. Patterns of self-doubt. Patterns of pushing people away. Patterns of thinking they're too much or not enough at the same time. Every day, they fight the urge to go back to what's familiar, even if it hurts, because somewhere deep inside, they feel that something better exists. That something better is you. But they don't know you yet. Not consciously. They just feel a pull. A strange, unexplainable sense that they are not meant to settle. That they are not meant to repeat the same story over and over again. That somewhere, someone exists who will understand them in a way no one else ever has. And that belief keeps them going. Even on the days they feel like giving up. Even on the nights they question their worth. Even when loneliness wraps around them so tightly it feels like it might never let go. They keep choosing growth. Because unknowingly, they are choosing you. Your soulmate is also learning how to stand alone. Not in a lonely way, but in a powerful way. They are learning that their happiness cannot depend on someone else. That love should add to their life, not become their entire identity. That they are whole on their own, and that wholeness is exactly what will allow them to love you the way you deserve. Because incomplete people don't create complete love stories. Two people who have faced themselves, understood themselves, and accepted themselves, that's where real love begins. And that's the journey they are on right now. Just like you. Yes, you too. Because while you're reading this, thinking about them, missing someone you haven't even met, or holding on to a feeling you can't fully explain, you are also being shaped. Your patience is being tested. Your heart is being strengthened. Your understanding of love is evolving. Every heartbreak you faced, every moment you felt unseen, every time you've had to walk away from something that wasn't right, it wasn't a punishment. It was preparation. Because the love meant for you is not ordinary. It's not rushed. It's not half-hearted. It's not something that comes into your life just to leave. It's something that arrives when both souls are ready. And readiness takes time. So while you're here, wondering why things haven't aligned yet, your soulmate is out there learning lessons that will one day protect your relationship. They are learning how to communicate instead of shutting down. They are learning how to stay instead of running. They are learning how to trust instead of assuming the worst. They are learning how to love properly. For you. And for themselves. There are nights when they feel tired. Tired of being strong. Tired of pretending they don't need anyone. Tired of carrying emotions they don't know how to express. But even then, they don't give up. Because something inside them refuses to settle. Refuses to accept a love that feels incomplete. Refuses to stop believing that somewhere, someone will meet them in a way that finally feels right. That someone is you. And maybe, just maybe, you felt it too. That unexplainable connection to something you can't name. That feeling that your story isn't finished yet. That sense that love is coming, not the kind that confuses you, but the kind that finally makes sense. That's not your imagination. That's alignment. Two souls, growing separately, so they can meet completely. And when that moment comes, it won't feel forced. It won't feel uncertain. It won't feel like you have to question where you stand. It will feel like peace. Like everything you went through suddenly makes sense. Like all the waiting, all the pain, all the confusion, it was leading you somewhere meaningful. Because it was. It was leading you to each other. But until then, trust the process. Trust that delays are not denials. Trust that what is meant for you is not being taken away, it is being prepared. Trust that your soulmate is not forgetting you, they are finding themselves. And that journey is necessary. Because when they finally reach you, they won't come broken and unsure. They will come ready. Ready to love you without fear. Ready to choose you without hesitation. Ready to stay. So don't rush the timing. Don't force connections that don't feel right. Don't settle just because you feel lonely. Because the love you're waiting for is also waiting for you. In ways you cannot see yet. Your soulmate is out there, in this very moment, becoming the person who will one day look at you and feel like they've finally found home. Just like you will feel when you see them. And when two people who have fought their own silent battles finally meet, they don't just fall in love. They understand each other. Deeply. Effortlessly. Unconditionally. So hold on. Not to a person, but to a belief. That real love is worth the wait. That the right person will not confuse you. That the connection meant for you will not require you to lose yourself. And that somewhere, in the quiet corners of this world, your soulmate is healing, growing, and slowly finding their way back to you. Even if they don't know it yet. And neither do you. But one day, you both will. And when that day comes, it won't feel like something new. It will feel like something that was always meant to be, and somewhere between the waiting, you are becoming the love you've been searching for. And while your soulmate is out there, quietly fighting battles you may never fully see, there is another truth unfolding just as powerfully. You are changing too, in ways you might not even realize yet. Because love like the one you are meant to experience doesn't just arrive into a life that is unprepared, it is built, slowly, within you, through every moment that tested your strength and every silence that forced you to understand yourself. There were days when you thought you were falling apart, when nothing made sense, when you questioned why things didn't work out the way you hoped they would, but those were not moments of breaking, they were moments of becoming. You were learning how to stand on your own even when your heart wanted to lean on someone else. You were learning how to let go of what felt familiar but wasn't right, and most importantly, you were learning that love should never feel like something you have to beg for. Somewhere along the way, without even noticing, you stopped chasing people who couldn't choose you fully, you stopped shrinking yourself just to fit into someone else's comfort, and you started understanding that real love doesn't require you to lose who you are. That shift inside you, that quiet realization that you deserve something deeper, something stable, something real, that is exactly what is bringing you closer to your soulmate. Because just like they are unlearning their fears, you are unlearning your doubts. Just like they are healing from their past, you are healing from yours. And even though your journeys are separate right now, they are moving in the same direction. There will be moments when you feel tired of waiting, when you wonder if maybe you're asking for too much, when you see others finding love easily and you question why your story feels delayed, but what you don't see is the depth of what is being prepared for you. Easy love is often fragile, built on convenience rather than understanding, but the love that takes time, the love that asks you to grow first, that is the kind that lasts. And you are not being denied love, you are being guided toward the kind that will not break you. Your soulmate is not out there living a perfect life without you, they are struggling, learning, failing, getting back up, and trying again. There are moments when they feel like they are not ready to love anyone, moments when their past still feels heavy, moments when they question if they will ever find something real, but even in those moments, they are moving forward. Every lesson they learn, every fear they face, every piece of themselves they rebuild, it is all shaping the way they will one day love you. They are learning patience so they can understand you, they are learning emotional strength so they can support you, they are learning honesty so they can communicate with you, and they are learning commitment so they can stay when things are not easy. And at the same time, you are being shaped into someone who can receive that love without fear. Because receiving love is just as important as giving it, and not everyone knows how to do that. You are learning not to push people away when things start to feel real, you are learning not to overthink every small detail, you are learning not to expect abandonment where there is none. You are slowly becoming someone who can trust, someone who can open their heart without constantly preparing for it to break. And that is not a small thing. That is everything. Because when two people who have both done that inner work finally meet, the connection is different. It is not built on insecurity or fear or the need to prove something. It is calm, it is steady, it is safe. It feels like you can finally breathe. And maybe right now, you don't know when that moment will come. Maybe you feel like you've been waiting for too long. Maybe you're tired of hearing that everything happens at the right time. But the truth is, timing is not just about when you meet someone, it's about who you are when you meet them. If you had met your soulmate earlier, before all this growth, before all these lessons, maybe you wouldn't have recognized them, maybe you wouldn't have been ready, maybe the connection wouldn't have lasted. And the same goes for them. So this time apart, this period of waiting, it is not empty. It is full of meaning. It is where everything important is happening. You are both being prepared for something that is not temporary, something that is not confusing, something that does not leave you questioning your worth. And one day, without warning, your paths will cross. It won't necessarily be dramatic or perfect or something out of a movie, but there will be something undeniable about it. A sense of familiarity, a feeling of calm, a quiet understanding that this is different from anything you've experienced before. Conversations will feel easy, not forced. Silence will feel comfortable, not awkward. You won't feel the need to pretend or impress or hold back parts of yourself. You will just be, you. And they will see you, fully, and choose you, not because they have to, but because they want to. And in that moment, all the waiting will make sense. All the times you felt alone, all the times you thought you were behind, all the times you wondered if love was ever going to find you, it will all come together in a way that feels almost surreal. Because you will realize that nothing was actually late. Nothing was missing. It was all unfolding exactly the way it needed to. Your soulmate was never forgetting you. You were never being overlooked. You were both just on your own paths, learning what you needed to learn so that when you finally met, you could create something real. Something that doesn't fall apart at the first sign of difficulty. Something that doesn't fade when things become routine. Something that grows, steadily, over time. So until that moment comes, don't lose hope. Don't settle for less just because it's available. Don't convince yourself that the kind of love you want is unrealistic. It isn't. It just requires patience. It requires trust. It requires you to keep becoming the person you are meant to be. And that is exactly what you are doing, even on the days when it feels like nothing is changing. Because growth is not always loud or visible. Sometimes it is quiet. Sometimes it is just choosing to keep going when you feel like giving up. Sometimes it is deciding not to go back to something that once felt comfortable but wasn't right. Sometimes it is simply believing that something better exists, even when you cannot see it yet. And that belief, that quiet, steady belief, is what is guiding both you and your soulmate toward each other. Step by step. Lesson by lesson. Until one day, the distance between you disappears, and everything that once felt uncertain finally becomes clear. And when that day comes, you won't just find love. You will understand why it took so long to arrive, and when the universe finally aligns, it won't feel like chance, it will feel like destiny you survived for. And when that moment finally arrives, the one you've unknowingly been preparing for through every high and low, through every phase of confusion and clarity, it won't feel rushed, it won't feel forced, and it definitely won't feel like something fragile that could disappear overnight. Instead, it will feel like something steady, something deeply rooted, something that has been building long before the two of you even stood in front of each other. Because the truth is, this connection didn't begin when you met, it began in every lesson you both had to learn before that meeting was even possible. There is a certain kind of love that doesn't come from excitement alone, but from understanding, from timing, from emotional readiness, and that is the kind of love you are walking toward. Right now, it might feel like you are just living your life, dealing with your own struggles, trying to figure things out one day at a time, but beneath all of that, something much bigger is unfolding. Every decision you make, every situation you walk away from, every moment you choose yourself instead of settling, it is quietly guiding you toward them. And the same is happening on their side. They are making choices, learning from mistakes, outgrowing versions of themselves that would not have been able to love you the way you deserve. They are becoming more aware, more grounded, more real. And all of that growth, even though it is happening separately, is leading to a shared point in time where everything aligns. When you finally meet, it won't feel like you have to figure each other out from scratch. There will be a sense of recognition, not in a literal way, but emotionally, like your hearts already understand each other on a level that words cannot fully explain. You will notice how easy it feels to talk to them, how natural it feels to be yourself without overthinking, how safe it feels to express what's on your mind without fear of being misunderstood. And that safety, that emotional comfort, is something you don't find often. It is something that only exists when two people have done the inner work required to truly see and accept another person. There will be no need for games, no need for confusion, no need to constantly question where you stand. Because clarity will replace doubt. Consistency will replace uncertainty. And peace will replace the chaos you may have mistaken for love in the past. This connection will not feel like something you have to chase. It will meet you halfway, naturally, effortlessly. And that is how you will know that this is different. That this is not just another temporary chapter, but something that has the potential to become a lifelong story. You will begin to notice the small things, the way they listen when you speak, not just to respond, but to truly understand, the way they remember the little details about you that others often overlook, the way they show up, not just when it's convenient, but especially when it matters. These are the quiet signs of real love, not loud promises, but consistent actions. And you, having gone through your own journey, will recognize the value of that. You won't take it for granted, and you won't feel the need to test it. Because you will have reached a point where you understand that love is not about proving something, it is about building something. Together. Slowly. Honestly. There will still be challenges, of course. No love story is completely free of difficulties. But the difference is, you won't face those challenges alone or against each other, you will face them as a team. You will communicate instead of shutting down. You will try to understand instead of assuming. You will choose to stay and work through things instead of walking away at the first sign of discomfort. And that choice, the choice to stay, to grow, to support each other, is what turns love into something lasting. Because real love is not just about how you feel when everything is perfect, it is about how you treat each other when things are not. And both of you, having fought your own silent battles, will know the importance of that. You will know what it feels like to be alone, to feel misunderstood, to carry emotions that no one else sees. And because of that, you will be more gentle with each other, more patient, more aware of the impact your words and actions have. There will be a deep level of respect, not just for each other, but for the journey that brought you together. You will see them not just as the person standing in front of you, but as everything they had to go through to become that person. And they will see the same in you. That mutual understanding will create a bond that is hard to break, because it is not based on surface-level attraction or temporary emotions, it is built on truth. And as time goes on, you will realize that this love is not something that completes you, but something that complements you. You were already whole before you met them, and they were already whole too. But together, you create something even more meaningful. Something that adds to your lives rather than filling a void. And that is what makes it healthy. That is what makes it real. You won't lose yourself in this connection. You won't feel like you have to sacrifice your identity or your dreams just to keep it. Instead, you will feel supported, encouraged, inspired to grow even more. Because the right person doesn't limit you, they expand you. They help you see possibilities you may not have considered before. They stand beside you, not in front of you or behind you, but with you. And that balance is rare. It is something that only exists when both people are emotionally ready for it. And that is why all this time, all this waiting, all this growth, it matters. Because without it, this kind of connection would not be possible. So when you look back one day, you won't just see the waiting as something painful or frustrating. You will see it as necessary. You will understand that every delay had a purpose, that every lesson had a reason, that every moment of doubt was leading you towards something certain. And in that realization, you will find peace. Not just because you found your soulmate, but because you found yourself along the way. And that is the most important part of all. Because love, no matter how deep or beautiful, cannot replace the relationship you have with yourself. It can only reflect it. And by the time you meet them, that reflection will be strong, clear, and unshakable. So until that day fully arrives, keep going. Keep growing. Keep choosing yourself, even when it's hard. Keep believing that what is meant for you is not lost, just delayed. Because somewhere, in ways you cannot see yet, everything is coming together. Your paths are getting closer. Your stories are aligning. And your hearts are slowly, quietly, finding their way toward each other. Not by accident, but by design. And when it finally happens, you won't have to question it. You will feel it. In the calmness. In the certainty. In the way everything finally makes sense. And in that moment, you will realize that this was never just about finding someone else, it was about becoming someone who was ready to experience a love that was always meant to be yours, and even after you find each other, the real story begins, the kind of love that stays. And even after you finally find each other, after all the waiting, all the healing, all the silent battles that shaped both of you into who you are, you will come to understand something even deeper, that finding love is not the end of the journey, it is the beginning of a new one, a more meaningful one, a more real one. Because the kind of love you have been waiting for is not just about that magical moment of meeting, it is about everything that comes after it. It is about the choice to stay, every single day, even when life is not perfect, even when moods change, even when circumstances test your patience. This is where your story truly unfolds, not in grand gestures or dramatic moments, but in the quiet consistency of being there for each other. There will be ordinary days, days that don't feel extraordinary at all, but those are the days that matter the most. The way they check on you when you're tired, the way you both sit together in comfortable silence, the way you support each other through stress, through doubts, through everything life throws at you, that is where love becomes something solid, something unshakable. You will begin to realize that real love is not about constant excitement, but about stability, about knowing that no matter what happens outside, you have each other to come back to. And that feeling, that sense of emotional home, is something rare and precious. There will be moments when misunderstandings happen, when emotions run high, when things don't go exactly as planned, but the difference now is that neither of you will see those moments as reasons to walk away. Instead, you will see them as opportunities to understand each other better, to grow together instead of apart. You will learn how to communicate, not just with words, but with empathy, with patience, with the intention to truly listen and not just react. And that will change everything. Because most relationships fail not because of lack of love, but because of lack of understanding. But you and your soulmate, having gone through your own individual journeys, will know how important it is to protect what you have. You won't take each other for granted. You won't ignore the small things that keep a relationship strong. You will make the effort, not because you are forced to, but because you genuinely want to. And that effort, that mutual willingness to show up, is what will keep your bond alive. Over time, your connection will deepen in ways that are hard to explain. It won't just be about attraction or shared interests, it will be about a deeper emotional connection, a sense that this person truly understands you, sees you, accepts you, not just the good parts, but the flawed, imperfect parts as well. And instead of feeling judged or insecure, you will feel safe. Safe to be vulnerable, safe to express yourself, safe to grow without fear of being left behind. That kind of safety is what allows love to thrive. And as you both continue to grow, individually and together, your relationship will evolve. You will support each other's dreams, encourage each other's growth, and celebrate each other's achievements, no matter how big or small. There will be a sense of partnership, a feeling that you are not alone in this world, that you have someone who truly has your back. And that support will give you strength, not just in your relationship, but in every other aspect of your life. You will become better versions of yourselves, not because you are trying to impress each other, but because you inspire each other. And that inspiration will create a cycle of growth, where both of you continue to become stronger, wiser, more understanding with time. There will be laughter, moments of pure joy that remind you why this connection is so special. There will be memories created, simple yet meaningful, that you will look back on with a sense of gratitude. And there will also be difficult moments, because life is not always easy, but those moments will not break you. Instead, they will strengthen you, because you will face them together. And that togetherness is what makes all the difference. You will start to notice how different this feels from anything you have experienced before. There will be no constant anxiety, no need to overthink every word or action, no fear of sudden distance or emotional withdrawal. Instead, there will be clarity, honesty, and a steady presence that reassures you without needing constant validation. And that peace, that emotional stability, is what you were always searching for, even when you didn't fully realize it. You will no longer feel like you have to fight for love, because love will no longer feel like something that is slipping away. It will feel secure. It will feel certain. It will feel like something you can trust. And in that trust, you will find freedom. Freedom to be yourself, freedom to express your emotions, freedom to love without fear. And that is what makes this connection so powerful. It is not restrictive, it is not overwhelming, it is not confusing, it is freeing. And as time passes, you will both grow older, not just in age, but in understanding, in emotional depth, in the way you see the world and each other. You will go through different phases of life, different challenges, different changes, but through all of that, your connection will remain a constant. It may evolve, it may deepen, it may change in certain ways, but it will not disappear. Because it is built on something real, something strong enough to withstand the passage of time. And one day, you will look at them, maybe in a quiet moment, maybe in the middle of an ordinary day, and you will feel a deep sense of gratitude. Not just for who they are, but for everything that led you to them. For every delay, every heartbreak, every lesson, every moment of growth that once felt difficult but now makes sense. You will realize that nothing was wasted. That every step, no matter how painful or confusing, was necessary to bring you to this point. And in that realization, you will find a kind of peace that is hard to describe. Because you will know, without a doubt, that you are exactly where you are meant to be. With the person you are meant to be with. Living a love that was worth every second of waiting. And in the end, that is what makes this story so special. It is not just about finding your soulmate, it is about everything you both had to go through to be ready for each other. It is about the strength you built, the lessons you learned, the growth you experienced. It is about becoming the kind of people who can not only find love, but keep it, nurture it, protect it. Because real love is not something that just happens. It is something that is created, maintained, and cherished over time. And you, having gone through everything you have, will understand that deeply. So you won't take it lightly. You won't let it slip away. You will hold on to it, not with fear, but with appreciation. And that appreciation will keep your love alive, strong, and meaningful for years to come. And when you look back at your journey, from the days of waiting to the days of finally having what you once dreamed of, you will smile, not because it was easy, but because it was worth it, and in the end, you'll realize. It was never about the wait, it was about the love that stayed, and in the end, when everything settles, when the noise of doubt fades away and all the questions you once carried quietly disappear, you will realize something simple yet powerful. It was never just about finding your soulmate, it was about becoming someone who could truly hold and receive a love that lasts. All the waiting, all the moments that felt empty, all the times you thought you were being left behind, they were never against you, they were guiding you. Because if love had come earlier, it wouldn't have stayed the same way it does now. Now, it stays. Now, it feels right. Now, it feels like peace instead of confusion, like home instead of uncertainty. And as you stand in that love, not rushing, not fearing, just being, you will understand that some stories take time because they are meant to last. Not every love is meant to be intense and short, some are meant to be steady and forever. And yours was always meant to stay.